Black and White Publishing presents Hell's Bells, written by Jill Johnson and read by Rachel Capell. Chapter 1. There is a room in University College London that few people know about, because it's down a rarely used staircase, along a forgotten corridor, through two sets of fire doors, and at the end of a passage that, on first sight, looks like a dead end. The room is dimly lit by a permanently curtained window, but there's enough light to see an old oak desk, a leather office chair, a glass-fronted cabinet and shelves sagging under the weight of so many folders and papers and reference books. On the wall beside the desk is a framed photograph of an old man sitting in a faded garden, reading a well-thumbed paperback copy of La Peste by Camus. He's wearing a Harris tweed suit and steel-rimmed glasses. A 1950s Rolex glints at his wrist. His hair is neatly combed and precisely parted. He has a kind face. He suits the room, or the room suits him. Sitting at the desk, marking essays, is me, Professor Eustacia Amelia Rose, Head of Botanical Toxicology at University College London. After a year-long sabbatical, I've been back in my post for 9 months. I can't say it's been plain sailing. There have been times when I've hankered after the precious solitude I enjoyed during my time off. The hours I could fill as I pleased. The research I could undertake free from pointless bureaucracy, petty rules and officious busybodies. That is, until it was all taken from me. I don't like to dwell on that tragic event, but suffice to say, I lost something very precious last year, something irreplaceable. But still, I'm grateful to be back in this stimulating environment. I'm rising to the challenge of interacting with my peers, and although it isn't the same as it was before my year off, I'm achieving a certain amount of satisfaction teaching this year's cohort of students. At the age of 45, I know this is my second chance. The university giving me this opportunity to get my career back on track, to pick up where I left off, is a huge privilege, and I'm absolutely determined that nothing or nobody will knock me off course again. In fact, I intend to remain the head of botanical toxicology at University College London until I'm very, very old indeed. I finished marking the final essay, took off my glasses, flicked on the desk lamp and blinked rapidly at its glare, only then realizing how dark it had become. It explained the pain behind my eyes, the absolute silence in the building. I checked the vintage Rolex on my wrist. It was 11 o'clock. With a soft whistle, I gathered my belongings and put them into my satchel, but before leaving, I paused in front of the photograph on the wall and studied my reflection in its glass. I was wearing the same Harris tweed suit as the old man, the same steel-rimmed glasses, and my hair was short, neat, and precisely parted. I rapped the glass above his face with a knuckle and said, "Good night, Father. See you in the morning." When I arrived in the main university foyer, a student was loitering by the doors. I knew who he was, an anxious PhD student I'd been trying to avoid for months. I've always struggled with remembering names, and so over the years I've developed a strategy of nicknaming people after the plant they most resemble. This student earned his nickname when he was an undergraduate. Giant hogweed, Latin name Heracleum mantigazianum, a tall willowy plant with phototoxic sap in its large leaves that causes phytophotodermatitis, resulting in painful blisters and scarring. I'd named him this not only because he was extremely tall with huge hands and red blotchy skin, but also because he was highly irritating to the point of causing me physical pain. Headaches mostly, but pain nevertheless. I had no way of knowing if he was waiting for me, but I suspected he was, because for the entire time I'd been back at the university, he'd put as much
Sample complete. Ready to continue?